This is the moment you've all been waiting for. This is the video of the pastor, the sister-in-law, the ex-best friend, new girlfriend, coercing my son to say he's being abused.
When you take a shower, what do you do? Who'll be with you in the shower?
Dada.
Who? No, when you at mommy's house.
Fun.
Friend be with you in the shower?
Yeah.
What does he do in the shower?
He washes up.
He wash you up?
No, he washes him up.
He washed him up. Okay, and what do you be doing?
I was just playing.
So you just play in the shower? Oh, but do you be in the bathtub together?
Huh?
Do you be in the bathtub together?
No, Finn was not in the bathtub with me. I was in the bathtub myself.
We still hustle daily. What's going on, Hustle Nation? Welcome back to another video. It's your boy Ray. Big Play coming to y'all with another video today, and I got a good story time for y'all. All right. So it says, my now ex-best friend of 14 years became her son's stepmother. Holy! So that means that she hooked up with her baby's father. You feel me? She's also going to tell us how the ex-best friend, the stepmother now, and a pastor tried to ruin her life and take her child away from her. All right, so we about to get right into it. Make sure y'all smash that like button. I greatly appreciate y'all. Y'all know y'all could be anywhere else in the world, but you're here with me, and I greatly appreciate you. This sounds like it's going to be a good story. I'm gonna let this one play all the way through, and we're gonna go ahead and listen to it, man. It sounds very, very interesting. So grab your popcorn, grab your chips, or whatever you got, and let's get right into it. And make sure y'all follow me on Instagram. Let's go.
My ex-best friend of 14 years became my son's stepmother. Not saying any names. Y'all could piece it together. I don't really give a fuck. I'm just interested in telling the story. I could care less about it being exposed since it already kind of was exposed. So, yeah. I met this girl around 5th, 6th grade when I would visit my dad. He lived in the town that she lived in, and she lived right around the corner from him. We were super close. We played outside together all the time. We kind of grew up from playing outside to drinking our first drink, to smoking our first blunt, to having our first kiss, to going to our first club. You know, all the little child to adolescent, teenage milestones into adulthood. She was close with my family. I was cool with hers. It was very known that we were very close. Everybody knew it. It wasn't a secret. It wasn't like we were fair weather friends. We were extremely close. Even in school, like, she was fighting with somebody, I'm ready to fight with her. If somebody messing with her, I'm taking them down. We went through a lot of shit together, as far as like shit she went through with men, shit I went through with men, like, you know, just the whole shebang. Anything like lifelong best friends would go through. When she became 19, she became pregnant with twins, and she had 2 twins, boys, and it was beautiful. Even though she was young and she was kind of ruining her life because she claims that the child's father was immature, which I'm sure he was, and I'm sure what she was saying at the time was very accurate. And you know, I had her back. I had her back. She got pregnant. She had to like leave college, and she was ready to raise her kids. Now, mind you, she still lived at home with mom. There was a small period of time where I don't think we fell apart necessarily. I think I was going through like a really horrible relationship, and she was trying like with my other friend to help me. And I got through that, obviously, and we remained cool. We still remained friends. This was somebody who was going to be a bridesmaid in my wedding. When I had my first child, I went through a lot with my son's father, and she would be right there with me, coaching me on how to put him on child support, coaching me on how to handle him, because she was very well versed in that. She did have, I believe she had kids like shortly before me. I was pregnant. Sorry. I remember I was pregnant at her baby shower. So we were kind of pregnant at the same time, but she had them first. I had them after. So she was like talking mad shit about my baby daddy's family. I was showing her what I was going through. I wasn't just telling her. Like, she was seeing with her own eyes that, like, you know, I was struggling. He was a non-provider. He was a cheater, a liar. His family was weird. You know, she was seeing this. It wasn't like she was just a fair weather friend on the internet and like just hearing. She was watching it in real time. She was helping me, you know, file things. She was sitting in, you know, my family's backyard all the time with her. Our kids would play together. My family would include her on family holidays, Christmas. My grandmother would buy her kids little gifts when it was like gatherings. Like, it was like that. We were so close. Like, she would call my grandma. She called my grandma because she was looking for an apartment. She was, you know what I'm saying? She had communication with my family outside of me. So with that all being said, you can tell that we were very close. Like, she knew that, you know, my baby daddy did me dirty. That he, especially while I was pregnant, she knew all like the nitty gritty details. She knew that he was like not a provider and not really taking care of his responsibilities as a dad. She knew all this. She's seen it. She witnessed it. She was helping me fight it. Fast forward, I got pregnant with my second child. I was in another relationship by then. You know, I had been left my baby daddy, and I was pregnant with my second child. And we were still close. Like, we would still talk even up. We would still talk to the point where we were having conversation about planning my gender reveal for my second child. So she had gotten pregnant again with her third child, still living under her mother's roof with the same baby daddy that she claimed abused her, wasn't a provider, was a piece of shit. She told me that she actually planned this third child, that they planned the third child after she bashed her baby daddy. Cool. No judgment here. You know what I'm saying? But I did tell her, like, girl, like, you don't have to do this. Like, you can't even sustain yourself. Like, you literally live in your mom's roof. Like, your mom's not livid right now. But she decided to keep the baby, and listen, babies are a blessing. So now this girl has 3 kids in her mom's roof, and I'm kind of like, damn, bitch, like, you know, it's time to get your life together because this ain't it. But I don't say anything to anybody. I keep my thoughts to myself because she's already pregnant. What the fuck? I'm gonna make her feel bad? Like, no, it's my friend. I'm not saying nothing. So as we're talking about my gender reveal, the conversation kind of died out, and I'm pretty sure she got busy. She has a newborn, I believe, is from the month of like born to like 3 months, I would say. So the baby was still in a newborn phase. She messages me out of the blue and says, I need to tell you something. I don't remember like the specific wording, but that. She goes, me and so-and-so are going to pursue a relationship. I just wanted to tell you. That so-and-so was my baby father. The same baby father that fucked me over, doesn't handle his responsibilities as a father, $4,000 back in child support, crazy family, crazy situation, my best friend getting in a relationship with a newborn. So I sat there for a minute because I swear I thought she was joking. I mean, girl, you just had a baby, a third one, living in your mom's house. That means you were just having sex with your baby daddy. You were just with your baby daddy. What am I missing? So I tell my boyfriend at the time, like, yo, like, this bitch playing. Because there's no way. Like, there's no way that made sense. Like, girl, you doing too much. Like, you're funny. No. She was dead ass. And I never heard from her again after that, by the way. So I'm, like, confused. Because I'm like, where is this coming from? How long? You just had a baby. You were just still having sex with your baby daddy, like, very recently. Like, I'm talking about after the baby was born. When did you have time to, after just having a baby and just being with your baby daddy, date mine? Also, why would you ever want to date somebody who had a child with your best friend? Hello? And me crashing out had nothing to do with the man. Like, I did send her a message, and it just had nothing to do with the man. Like, I moved on already. I was already in another relationship, having another baby. It's the principle of, you're my friend. What are you doing? Hello? Are you okay? Are you, like, is this a joke? Like, where's Ashton Kutcher? So I call my baby daddy, and I'm like, you know why I'm calling you, right? And he's like, why? And I go, well, I got a message from my best friend saying this. Is this what's going on? And he goes, yeah. And I'm like, and that makes sense to you? And he's like, well, and I'm like, So if your guy best friend decided to start having a relationship with me, that would make sense. He goes, well, if that happened to me, I wouldn't be friends with that person. So it's not a red flag to you that your baby mama's best friend wants to be with you, and you don't see that as a red flag as a person. Like fuck what she did to me or how it affected me in her relationship. You don't see her as being a grimy person in general. If you're saying you wouldn't be friends with somebody that does that, then what makes you want to date somebody who does that? But I digress, because okay, that's what y'all choose. Whatever. Y'all are both weird as fuck. And this whole situation is weird. Everything he ever said about me negative, that made me a horrible person and a horrible mother, which never been me. But he was so bitter that he curated this whole narrative of me when whatever. Everything he ever said about me that was negative applies to her, like in her behavior, but yet it's excusable for her to do it and for her to be like that. But when I did it, I was a bad mom. I was hurt. I was fucking hurt and confused, and I was pregnant, so obviously my hormones. So my baby daddy's sister-in-law, which also happens to be one of my old best friends who started dating and ended up marrying his twin brother, but we're gonna clock that tea another time. She told me that it was my hormones making me act that way, that I shouldn't overreact. And oh, girl, what? You see how I'm constantly gaslit? Like, I can't make this shit up. So the sister-in-law's on the phone with me. She is making me seem like I am nuts. Like this is not abnormal. Like, she made a comment that it's like, oh, you can't, people can't control like who they like you can't control what people do. I can absolutely control not falling in love and fucking with my friends, exes, baby daddies. Definitely have control over that. That was definitely a choice. But she gaslit me so hard, made it seem like, oh, like you're just hormonal. Girl, even if I didn't have a baby, this would be like, this is just not normal. Like, I asked her, I asked sister-in-law, like, if your best friend did this to you, oh, I would be her. What is wrong with you people? Like, am I crazy? Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm seeing stuff that other people aren't seeing. So I hang up the phone with her because she was just, I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I couldn't believe that everybody was making me the crazy one, that this just came out. So I left that alone with her because I wasn't trying to curse her out. Like, real talk, I wasn't trying to curse her out. And I was already going through a lot of shit when I was pregnant. So it wasn't giving. So I definitely sent my ex-best friend a few paragraphs, and of course she ignored them because she's scary and can't, face the shit that she does. And so of course I called one of my other friends because I was whatever. And you know what everybody that talked to me about this says? You're surprised? Yeah, what do you mean? Of course I'm surprised. What? Like, this is not left field? And everybody that I talked to from our school said, the fact that you're surprised and you didn't see that obviously she would have done this to you, she's been grimy. How do you not see that? Do you guys not see a pattern in how I am constantly allowing grimy people in my life and not seeing, like, having no discernment, no judgment, like, not seeing it? Now you can see, like, I was not picking friends right, obviously. Like, I was not doing well at that. So then people started pointing out, like, all the fucked up shit she would do. And I'm like, well, yeah, that makes, like, I'm starting to really think about it. Like, well, damn, yeah, that's fucked up. Or, yeah, and people started coming forward with their stories and their experience with her. And I'm like, now to think of it, like, yeah, that didn't make sense. Like, yeah, that, yeah. Like, yeah. Like, then you start realizing, like, holy shit, bitch been, like, a grimy bitch. And then I started to realize, like, oh my God, like, how did I not see it? You know what's even crazier? The 4th of July prior, my baby daddy and I were maybe possibly working on reconciling. That shit lasted a week because I realized he was still, like, an immature non-provider. But we went, while she was pregnant with her third child, we went together to her 4th of July barbecue, and she was with her baby daddy and I was with mine. And now everybody's making me think, how long was this going on? Apparently it was going on like while she was pregnant. That's an allegedly. So now I feel betrayed. I'm raging. I'm pregnant. I'm pissed. So I'm on the phone with my other friends and they're like, oh, like none of us are surprised. Like the whole anybody I went to high school with, they had stories for like all the grimy shit she's done to them. They're like, she's been doing this shit. Then her baby daddy was pissed because what she started to do was, immediately when she started dating my baby daddy exclusively, making him the dad. She made her kids call my baby daddy dad, and called their biological father like that's not their dad. Like she would tell them, that's not your father, like this man is. And he became her kid's dad like very quickly, and then it came out that she was actually pregnant. So she had a baby, a newborn, and then now she's pregnant with my son's father. Everything moved so fast, and all I kept thinking was, I wonder how his family feels about this, because for such a Christian, godly family, there's no way, at least I had faith in his mother. I did. I had faith in his mother, and I would tell my family, because my family's like, oh, I knew his family was trash. No, I was like, no, I'm pretty sure his mom is definitely telling him about himself. No, they all definitely were oddly really liking this girl for a lot. And it's so funny because all the things they condemn me for, she does the same exact things. That's when I learned, like, people just it's just because it's you. Just because it's you. And I was so shocked his family was co-signing this, that the pastor and the bishop, they were heavily involved in church, that the pastor and the bishop were co-signing this and were eating this up, but like the pastor bishop had a problem with me. And I was like so confused. First of all, as a mother, when I look at that situation, if that was my son, I would be like, you know what? I support you. Like, you know, you make your own decisions, but to me, that doesn't sit right. Why would your baby mama's best friend want to date you? That's grimy. Like, I wouldn't trust a bitch like that. I would tell my son that because I would keep it real. Then all of a sudden, she found Jesus. She started going to their weird ass church, like being like a Bible thumper, posting Bible quotes. I swear that the horrible person to Christian Bible thumper timeline needs to be studied by psychologists, because what is even that? So then I just had to eat it. And it fucking pissed me off that you're willing to lose a friend. Me and her have never had beef, never had problems. I've always had her back. You're willing to lose a friend for a man who can't even take care of his one child. What makes you think he's going to take care of your 3? So I'm thinking, like, that's so weird. Like, he's back in arrears, $4,000, the same thing she condemns her baby daddy for, because she had him on child support at one point before they got back together and had a 3rd child. He's not taking care of his responsibilities. He's not a provider. Everything that you're bashing your baby daddy for, why do you want my deadbeat baby daddy? Why do you want my broke baby daddy? I'm not understanding. And people were like, she wanted your life. And I'm like, why would you want my life? My life with him sucked. He's a fucking loser. He's a fucking pathological liar. He's a cheater. He's a bum. He's dirty. Like, the fuck? My life was ass with him. I didn't have a good life with him. What gave? She saw everything I went through. What gave I had a good life with him? What does she think? He's gonna get with her and become this mega millionaire and become this great father and this great man? Girl. Now, mind you, a lot happened in between. A lot happened after that. Like, a lot of crazy shit happened. But I want to save that series of events for another story time, because it's more serious story time. But just know that after they got together and all this stuff happened, she started helping him and his family come after me. She started testifying in court against me for him. She started making up shit and lying. Like she started actually becoming my enemy, which she already was. I mean, no real friend would do what she did, but yeah, she started going, like, she started helping them attack me and come after me. They lost, and the court called her out for lying, and him. She didn't get away with it, but she dead ass became my op over a man who can't give her nothing. And that was in 2022. It's 2025. So she has 3 kids. They had the 4th one. So now they have 4 kids still living in her mother's house. He has not put a roof over their head. He has not done anything substantial to provide for her. He actually owes me $11,000 that's on his arrears. He can barely pay his full child support. My son asked him for $10. He said he couldn't give it. He coaches her son's wrestling team. Never been involved. He doesn't even know our son's teacher's name. Now, I'm gonna get to the real fucking crazy story. Get ready. Story time about how my ex-best friend, my baby daddy, his family, and his church tried to destroy my life. This is the big story, and there's gonna be some rules. Don't rush me. It takes time to tell a serious story like this, so please don't fucking rush me. It takes time to record these things. It takes time for me to make sure that I'm telling every accurate detail, so please bear with me. Don't complain. Oh, I don't want this many parts. Oh, this, oh, that. Y'all complain about everything. I can't make everybody happy. I will utilize the 10-minute, option, but that's it. I can only probably post 3 parts a day because I do actually live a real life outside of social media. So please bear with me. So where we left off from the last story, because this kind of connects with the last story, is that I found out that my ex-best friend was fucking my baby daddy, got pregnant by him, got into a relationship behind my back. To address some things, no, I was not dating my first baby daddy anymore. We had been broken up for years already. The principle behind the issue is that was my best friend. She watched what he put me through. She talked shit about him. She helped me go through, file against him and do the custody thing. She was still my best friend when she was fucking him. She was still my best friend and hiding it from me. And then all of a sudden she turned on me. Fine. We're going to eat that, right? I did. I ate that. After I found that out, I ate it. Okay? I had no choice. So I had to learn to live with what was happening. At the time, I was in a relationship and pregnant. I had already moved on with my life. Please stop making it about, there was only a few people that were like, oh, you were her. Oh, you were just, no, it had nothing to do with the man. It's the principle behind it. What the fuck? It doesn't matter if I broke up with that man 10 years ago. I had a child with this person and that person hurt me and fucked me over and did me dirty and doesn't take care of his kid the way he's supposed to. Why would your best friend ever want to sleep with that man? Why would you want to make your own family with your own best friend's baby daddy? Why would you ever want to procreate with, I don't even need to explain that. We already know what's up next. So that happened, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, in March, February or March, definitely February or March. So we're eating it. We're living life. It's fucked up, but it is what it is. Fast forward to May. My child's father was in arrears $4,000. So he was back on child support, $4,000. So I wasn't receiving child support, or it wasn't the full amount. And I let him live for a while. I let him, be late, be missing. The arrears were racking up. And I got to a point where I'm like, hey, listen, you need to pay for your child support. He swore up and down it was coming out of my check. I'm paying it, blah, blah, blah. Every time I called child support, they were like, no, we received nothing. Nothing. And it's getting to the point where he's behind and he's not providing any payment or any proof that it came out of his check because they asked him. So they put a warrant out for his arrest. They let him know, if you cannot prove or send a pay stub that has it, that's coming out, you're going to get a warrant. That was a little bit before my son's birthday. So my son's birthday's in May. May 23rd. And so this was all leading up to my son's birthday. Me and my boyfriend at the time, we were planning, you know, what we were going to do for my son's birthday. We were going to take him to this museum. We were going to have a great time with him. And, you know, we were enjoying the pregnancy. Now, to be honest, the relationship I was in, he was a piece of shit as well. He was a cheater, a liar, but that's another story. Listen, this is my life. It's shit. Well, used to be shit. Now I am in such a better place, but just bear with me, Lord. I was just trying my best to bask in my pregnancy, enjoy my son, make sure he has the best birthday ever. So we decided to take him out to hibachi. We took him out to hibachi. He loves hibachi. We gave him his gifts at hibachi, which was, we got him a Nintendo Switch, a bunch of games. We bought him a bunch of stuff. Then the plan was to take him to the museum with my grandmother. It was a museum he really likes, and to enjoy it. We had an absolute beautiful family outing. It was amazing. My son had a great time. My son goes to visitation with his father because we have I have full residential custody, and we have 50-50 joint legal custody, meaning my son lives with me. I am the primary parent, and then, you know, he's the other parent. So my son goes to a visit with his father, and his father messages me and sends me a picture and said that my son got a black eye because he was playing with my ex-best friend, his girlfriend's kids, and they were playing rough and he fell. So I'm like, is he okay? Is he good? Oh, you know how boys are. You know, we're having casual conversation, nothing out of the ordinary, nothing weird. And that's what it was. What do you want me to do? Boys are playing and they get hurt. Why would I ever think anything malicious? So then then he brings him back from his visitation. We're having a good time. And then he goes, and then days go by. My poor son had a black eye. It slowly went away. Days go by and he goes back for his visitation. When it was time for him to return home, radio silence. I started to get a little worried, like, hey, this is not like, you know, him. He would usually answer because he has to return him back home. Nobody's answering, not him, the sister, nobody. I'm like, where's my son? Like, why is my son, like, why is nobody corresponding with me? Like, what is going on? Is everything okay? I was concerned. Nothing. Not a goddamn thing. Okay. So I started to panic. So I started asking people, hey, can you check their social media, see if, like, my son, like, they're at a party maybe? Like, this is weird. My son always comes back home, like, to hear nothing. Like, I'm a mother. That's the first thing I'm worried about. So the sister finally reaches out to me after mad long with a court order. This happened on a Friday. So they obviously planned this to do this on a Friday where the whole weekend the courts will be closed, so I can't even answer to it. And basically he filed an emergent order for child abuse. So I'm confused because what does all this mean? Like, what are you talking about? What child abuse? What? I didn't do anything to him. Nobody did anything. This is like the happiest kid on fucking earth. So I'm asking questions, nobody's answering. So I call the police department, nobody's giving me any answers. Come to find out, somebody over there called DCPP and made up allegations that I am not only physically abusing my child, but I'm sexually abusing my child. So I finally get in touch with the DCPP worker that, you know, was working on the case that got called. And I'm just like, hey, what is going on? So basically, she came to my house and explained that I am being accused of sexually abusing my son, physically abusing my son, that in this home, he is being touched inappropriately, he is being beat, he is being punched in his face. I'm like, what? So she explains to me that not only was there a call, but they went and filed an emergent order on Friday, the last minute before the court was closed, and the judge granted it based off of the black eye. When I tell you, I was livid. Because all that's running through my head is, wait a minute, he got the black eye at his dad's. Wait, this is all just a misunderstanding. Like, what is going on? Like, and mind you, I'm shaking because I'm pregnant, and I've never been accused of shit like this. This is like out of this world. I couldn't comprehend. So I'm like, okay, but my son's supposed to come back home. She goes, unfortunately, he got temporary emergency custody based off of child abuse allegations. I said, but there's no child abuse going on. What are you talking about? Like, I'm so confused. Like, where's the proof? What proof? How could you just give him this fucking monster? How could you just give him my child permanently without any proof that this is happening? And she said, well, there was a hearing on Friday, and you know, and I said, but I wasn't notified. If there's an emergent order, I'm supposed to be present. Nobody called me. The court didn't call me. Nobody notified me there was a hearing. I didn't even get to defend myself or prove that the black guy didn't cuff my house. I have a text right here. So I pull it up and I show her the text, and she's like, oh, okay. And then this snowballs into, now she has to open up an investigation, obviously. And then I'm like, okay, what about my kid? I need my kid. Like, where's my fucking kid? So now I'm panicking. I'm calling my family. I'm like, I don't know what this is about. I can't wrap my head around it. I'm losing it. But then I'm told, you know, that the investigation can take up to 60 days. So the investigation starts, and I am beyond stressed because I'm not understanding how somebody can just call and say this is happening and just go to the court and say this is happening off of absolutely nothing, and then your kid can't see you. This is crazy. I said, I just want to understand, on what basis did they have to grant this? And I was told, even by the courts, that I should have been in that hearing. I should have been contacted and able to speak up and defend myself and say, like, hey, this is a misunderstanding. So apparently in the hearing, he also said that he had a video of my son saying that he was being abused. I'm like, ain't no way. On God, ain't no way. My son would never say he's being abused. It's a lie. And mind you, the judge never saw the video. He just went off of his word and granted it. So I'm like, a video? When? Where? What video? Show the video. I want to see the video. So we end up getting a hearing. I can't remember how long after, like, the DCPP investigation started. I wanted a hearing. I said, I want to get in court because I want to see my son. I don't give a fuck what we have to do. I want to see my son. I want to talk to my son. And you cannot keep my son from me for all these months off of false allegations. So we went into a virtual hearing, and I told the judge, I said, hey, I wasn't at that emergent hearing. I wasn't able to defend myself or even know why I'm being investigated right now. What is going on? I said, I haven't even talked to my son. I don't know what's going on. Like, can I want to see my son. I want visitation. I want something. So the judge basically says, the judge calls, he starts lying and saying a bunch of lies. The judge calls him out for lying, but still says, I'm sorry, but we already granted the emergent order, and I'm not going to go back on what another judge said, because that's kind of, like, I guess, frowned upon in the court system of, I guess, where I'm from. Basically, she said she's not going to take back an order another judge did, so she's going to wait until the DCPP investigation is completed and the allegations are unfounded to resume my custody. I said, ma'am, that doesn't make any sense. A DCPP investigation can take 60 days. You're telling me that I can't have my child for 60 days? I can't talk to him, and I didn't do anything, and you have no proof? I said, can somebody please present proof that I did something? So she goes, okay, well, I will allow you to have nightly phone calls at 7 p.m. until the investigation is complete. When I tell you, I wanted to turn that Zoom, whatever we were in, every way but loose. But I was told by my aunt, keep it cool, cooperate. You lose your cool. That's what they over there are expecting you to do. They're expecting you to act an ass. Keep your composure, because we're winning this. And to that day when my aunt said that, I trusted in her, I believed in her, and that woman never steered me wrong. So now every single day every single day I sat on the couch. I sat on the couch, and I remember being pregnant, and every day that went by, I would look at my son's room, the door, and I would just think like I miss my son so fucking much. And I don't even want to cry on the internet, but deadass, this is some real ass shit that people go through. Like, I couldn't even leave his room door open because I didn't even want to see it. And I remember I would sit on the couch all day. I wouldn't shower for days. I wouldn't get up. I wouldn't want to eat. I was vomiting to the point where you're dry heaving. Like, you can't even vomit anymore. There's nothing. There's no stomach bile, nothing. I would pass out regularly and had to go get blood transfusions because I was dead. Like, dead. Days went by. Weeks went by. I'm harassing the worker. I'm like, when is this gonna over? When is this gonna be over? Please, I'm my mental health, I can't go on like this. And I remember this one time, like, I'm sitting on the couch and I was looking for the remote, and I was like reaching in the couch, and I felt something. I took it out, and it was like a little Hot Wheels car, and I lost it. I will never forget. Like, I literally just went into, I started flipping shit. I was breaking everything, and my boyfriend at the time was like, babe, please, like, we're gonna fix this, like, we're gonna get through this. And I'm like, bro, I'm gonna end it. I cannot do this. I cannot go another day like this. And I remember, like, calling my family, like, I don't even want to go out to eat because it feels wrong. It feels wrong to be doing anything but sitting here looking up stuff. I mean, I went as far as I emailed the fucking governor. Like, I was emailing everybody possible. I spent all night till like 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning Googling, searching legal documents. What can I pull up? Background check. I mean, I was trying everything. And you know, my boyfriend at the time, he was like, babe, like, you gotta get sleep, you gotta eat. And I'm like, I'm not going nowhere. I don't give a fuck. I'm not going nowhere. There's nothing to celebrate. I don't give a fuck I don't give a fuck what's going on. I'm not leaving this motherfucking house unless I'm going to court. I'm not leaving this motherfucking house until I get my son. I will sit up all motherfucking night until this is done. I'm not playing around. And like, I remember there was one time he tried to take me out to eat around the corner from our house so I can like get out and get fresh air, because I was spending days in the house. And I started crying. I'm like, I can't. I don't want to sit here. It feels wrong being out doing anything recreational when I don't have my child. All these things are being said about me. I have no way of fighting this, even though I did absolutely nothing wrong. I have to spend every waking moment not knowing what my son's doing, where he's going, who he's with, it was too much, and I was pregnant. And honestly, I would say that was probably the lowest my life has ever been. I cried every single day. My chest hurt every day. Like, I thought I was gonna have a fucking heart attack. Like, even just thinking about it now, thinking about the fact that I ever like, thinking about it now, I'm so angry. I'm so fucking angry. So June goes by, a whole month. I didn't see my son, and every night that I had a phone call with him, you know what they would do? They would sabotage every single phone call. They would purposely, when I got on the phone with him, oh, we have ice cream. Oh, we have this. Oh, come over here. We're gonna go play. Oh, why would you have him have my phone call me when he's playing with a bunch of kids? Why would you have a million people around him when I'm trying to have a phone call with my son? They sabotaged every single phone call. All of June goes by. All I get are nightly phone calls. This is a child that I'm raising and live with me, and now I can only have an hour phone call with him. 30 minutes. I forgot what it was, 30 minutes or an hour. July goes by. I'm sick. I'm sick. I'm not doing well. I'm losing it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was losing it. My family was real worried. My grandma was crying almost every night. My aunt was stressed beyond belief. My mom was crying. I would cry. I would cry on the phone every single day, like, mommy, please, like, mom, please, just fix it, dead fucking ass, bro. I don't want nobody to see me like this, but like, I remember calling my family, like, can please somebody just fix it, please, because I can't fucking live like this. Like, I can't. I miss my son so fucking much. Even just talking about it right now is so fucking triggering. So, hold on. So, and my mom was like, sweetie, I wish I could do something for you, and I can't, and we're all just so heartbroken. Everybody's just so fucking heartbroken for you, and like, this is so horrible, and you shouldn't be going through this while you're pregnant. This is not fair. And I had already gone through so much before that, and it's just like, why do these people want to hurt me so bad? Like, I never ever understood it. But I just want to let you guys know I'm really triggered by this story. This whole thing took place starting 2022. It's 2025, and I still get extremely triggered by it. So please have some grace for me, because it gets so dark, so twisted, so fucked up, and I think it has left permanent damage on my psyche. By the way, please don't draw any conclusions or like try to do your own investigation. The conclusion of all this, I came out on top. So please don't draw conclusions to, oh, she was probably this, and please don't add any more like to the trauma. Okay, thank you. So once July hit and a month went by, a little bit more than a month, I was starting to get a little crazy. Like, I was starting to really lose it up here, and I was like, I will do anything to prove my innocence. I will do anything to fix this, like, now. But obviously, like, the DCPP work, I'm like, sis, let's go. Like, I'm not even like, I'm gonna lose it. I was supposed to give birth in August, and my biggest thing was, oh my God, I'm gonna give birth to my son's first sibling, and he's not gonna be there. Like, I can't. And I kept thinking, like, think, Ariana, think, like, start investigating. Use your investigating skills. Look into what you're not looking into. What can you find? What could possibly help you right now? And I started to think, all right, when was the call? So I started looking to, like, okay, when was the call made? Okay, this call made was here. Why would they make the call on a Friday? I'm trying to think. I'm piecing everything together. So I called the DCP worker. I'm asking her, like, okay, can you at least tell me, like, when you got called? And so she's giving me some information. I'm starting to piece stuff together, and I'm like, oh my God. So the call was made right after he found out he had a warrant for his arrest for back child support. Because I looked at the dates, the call was made right after he sent me the message for the black eye. And then he returned him home after he made the call accusing me of abusing him. So my thing is, if you're calling saying that he's getting abused in my home to the point where you feel like he can't, you want custody of him because you're that worried, why, after you call DCPP, why'd you return him home? Then I'm going through my messages and I'm connecting dates, and I'm like, wait a minute. So he made the call, then returned him home, even made jokes with me. Like, we were joking around, made a joke. We were talking about future plans. That doesn't make any sense. Then, my aunt, who's like fucking Nancy Drew, she's like, sis, did you know that if you file an emergent order, any type of violations against you gets frozen? So now I'm thinking, like, wait a minute, my ex-best friend, she's like super well versed on being like really sneaky and conniving, like when it comes to custody, the courts, because she does it to her own baby daddy. And I'm like, oh my God, they definitely called DCPP to get an investigation or to open up a case, then take that to go to court to get the emergent order, and now he's not in trouble for his arrears anymore. So now I'm like, oh my God. So now I'm on the internet, emailing, I'm going crazy. So I call the DCPP worker and I'm like, I know I called you 50,000 times today, but here's 50,001. Now listen to this. So I'm telling her, I'm connecting, I'm emailing her, I'm showing her. I'm like, listen, I'm going to call probation right now, which is where you call for the child support. I'm like, I'm going to call her right now. I'm going to call you right back. So then I call probation, child support, and I'm like, hey, can you just give me some information to that? So they gave me some information. Let me tell you something. It all connected. They were trying to falsely accuse me and make up that I was abusing him so he can get out of his child support obligation. So I'm telling the worker, I'm like, miss, I understand that you're finishing your investigation and you're trying to do everything and it's a lot of paperwork, and where I live, Child Protective Services is backed up like a motherfucker. Like they have nobody, like they are really backed up. So I'm like, sis, I understand, you know, but girly, like I ain't gonna make it. I ain't gonna make it. I'm on my last strand of life. I'm ready to end it all, please. So she's like, okay, thank you. Just email everything you have. Email it to me. So then I go for one of my maternity appointments at the OBGYN. And I noticed that every time I've been going since the investigation, they've been asking for like other things. And I'm like, and the nurse was like, you know, you're being drug tested because you're being investigated. And I'm like, are you fucking serious? Like, I can't even have privacy or have peace even in my pregnancy. I'm being poked and prodded so deeply that it's affecting like even my health care. Like, now obviously I don't do any drugs. Well, not obviously, you guys don't know me, but I don't do drugs. I'm actually very against drugs, and that's I told that in another story how strongly I feel against like pills and all that stuff. So all of July is going by, no 4th of July with my son. I missed everything with him. So the beginning of August rolls by and we start to hear that about this video. So I asked the DCPP worker, I'm like, what's confusing me so much is that, have you seen the video? And she's like, no, I haven't. I said, so how are we basing this entire investigation on a video that nobody's seen? So at that point, I'm thinking, you know what? After this, I'm going to sue everybody because y'all got me fucked up. And even the judge, like the second judge that I was able to get to see to at least get my phone call, she asked him, like, so you're saying there's a video, you're saying that your pastor recorded this video, did you give permission? Oh, well, no, I didn't know it was happening. So you allowed your son to be questioned by a stranger or another adult without your permission on video, and you don't have the video, like, can you show the video? And there was it was constantly excuses why he couldn't show the video. But the fact that they allowed the investigation to, like, they allowed this to go on the way it did without seeing the video, still to this day, that's another, I don't even know. So August rolls by, and on August 6th, I gave birth to my beautiful little boy, and I was still heartbroken. I would like to say that, like, although it was beautiful and I love my baby, that experience was nothing what it should be, because I was sitting in the hospital without my other son experiencing with me. So I was just very, thank you, like, tried to make it the best, but it sucked. Then out of the blue, I get a call from the DCPP worker. Now we're June, July, August in to not seeing my son. And she tells me that the investigation is finished and all of the accusations are unfounded. So I'm going to send you the letter and you can go do what you need to do with that. When I tell you, that was the first time I breathed in 90 days. That moment made me believe that God was real, because I can't even tell you the amount of the type of relief I felt. So I went, I got the letter. I also got it. She also mailed it to me, and I ran to that fucking courthouse and I filed an emergent order to get my son back. But it gets so much worse from here. Not for me, though. Not for me. So I file the order, we get a court date, and it's quick. The allegations are unfounded, and they are to return my son to me immediately. Fucking-immediately. I believe this was 2 weeks after I gave birth. So my baby was all fresh, and I told my boyfriend, my grandma, I said, we're going to go get him right now. But personally, I did not feel comfortable going to pick him up from them because it was his family that had to drop him off. I didn't feel comfortable because I wanted to turn them every way but loose. And I don't give a fuck. I told my family, I can't go. I'm gonna go to jail. I'm gonna go to motherfucking jail. So one of y'all need to go get him because me personally is up. So my grandma went and got my baby, and we got reunited that day. But unfortunately, I thought it was all over then. And then it got worse. I didn't think it could get worse, but it didn't get worse for me technically. It just got worse for the situation. Now you must be thinking, I got my baby back, you know, it was unfounded, everything's solved, life is back to normal. Absolutely the fuck not. I wish I could have said it was back to normal, but it wasn't. Because remember what I told you guys. It wasn't just her and him. It was the church. It was the family going in on it. You have to remember that it only gets worse from here. So as much as, like, obviously the hard part for me was over, it really wasn't, because remember, I wasn't going to let them walk away unscathed. We're going to court. I want to know what the fuck is going on. I want to know why this all happened. I want an investigation. I want a trial. I want everybody persecuted straight to jail, under the motherfucking jail. But more importantly, I want to see that motherfucking video. I'm going to show you guys the video. I have to look through all my emails with my lawyer and find this video. Because remember, this happened back in 2022. And we didn't close, like the whole... I came after them hard. And we didn't end until 2024. That's how serious this shit was. So I have to look for that video. But I will be exposing that motherfucking video. There's a video. And the video that they're talking about, the pastor, which I'm going to... Just bear with me. The pastor of the church pulled my child aside along with my baby daddy's sister-in-law and his little girlfriend. And I believe his sister, I don't know if his sister was there, but I believe she was, I don't know. Pulled him aside and took a video of my 6-year-old, asking him if he was being abused and coercing him to say it. Yeah, you heard that right. In the video, they were forcing him to say he was being abused. When you guys see the video, outrage. Out motherfucking rage, I promise you. He's just sitting there, my poor baby. The pastor is questioning him the fuck down. Like, she's asking the same question 10 different ways, questioning him down, and then getting frustrated because he's not agreeing with her. She's asking him, well, did this person touch you? No. Did they touch you in the bath? No. So where were they in the bath? In the other room. So they were taking a bath with you? No. So what about the bath? No. So he wasn't touching you? No. Where is he when you take a bath? Not in the bathroom. So you weren't being touched. My son was getting uncomfortable visibly. And then you hear in the background my baby daddy's sister-in-law and his little girlfriend telling him, say yes. Say yes. I swear to God. If I'm lying, I'm flying. I'm going to show you the video. And not only that, I have court documents to prove it. And the pastor's the one who was coercing him and taking a video of a 6-year-old asking him about sexual abuse that he's never experienced. And she claimed that he told her this in confidence. So now she wanted to record it to have proof. Bitch, you're a congregational leader, and you took it upon yourself to pull a child aside that is not in blood relation to you and push him to say he was being abused. And he was answering. He had a clear answers for everything. No. In the other room. No. She was getting so frustrated with my child that he was not playing along. And that's why everybody chimed in and said, say yes, say yes. When I show you the video, when I find it, and I will fucking find it. I will motherfucking find it because I need it. Anyway, y'all gonna see. Oh, don't y'all motherfucking worry. I absolutely putting this bitch on blast. You see this fucking stupid bitch right here? Demonic, evil, down low, fake pastor. I don't give a fuck. I know what the fuck I'm talking about. Tabernacle of Life Ministries. Okay? Please, please don't ever think I'm playing. I have every ounce of evidence, and I have the backing of the court that says that she was coercing him. I got it all. She currently and still will always have a no contact order. She is not allowed to be around my son anymore. He is not allowed to go to that church anymore. Why would a judge order that? Why would a judge order that? Why would a judge order that? Because she's a fucking evil bitch. This woman, this is the woman that pulled my 6-year-old aside, sat and questioned my poor baby about stuff he would have never heard of other than her saying it. Questioned him down even when he was giving clear answers, changing the wording of asking the same question about a million different times to try to get a different answer, and he kept answering the same way. You couldn't even trick him because he was telling the truth. Then got frustrated with him. Then had other women behind the camera who were recording and watching. So my baby was surrounded by adults that he apparently trusts and feels safe with. And he still was telling them no. And they weren't taking no as an answer. So they were forcing him to say yes. And in the video, you will hear them say yes. I need time to get that fucking video, but best believe I will be posting it. Now, I want to post the sister-in-law so fucking bad. So fucking bad. And mind you, she also used to be a best friend of mine. A very close friend of mine. Very, very close. Just like the other one. And they got with the family, joined this church, and all of a sudden, this is how they behave. So I really think that she and this church is the common denominator to this bullshit. I think that there's something going on here. Even the judge, when she was testifying, because this bitch testified against me like an idiot, and the judge is looking at her like, girl, I heard the video. You're crazy. You're a liar. And you know what's crazy? They all worked together on this scheme. You would think they would sit outside the courthouse or in a meeting before coming to court when they were going to testify at trial and corroborate their stories. They all came in and told a different story. That's why the judge was like, you all are fucking liars. Like, weird as fuck. Even the judge was disgusted by the video. This lady, when I was with my baby father and we were engaged, right? And we had to go to premarital counseling because by the church, this is what they do. All the kids in the family who get pregnant, they all get pregnant out of wedlock. Then they're forced to go to counseling to her to get married. This happens all the time. They did it with me. They did it with my other best friend who's a sister-in-law. And then they did it with my ex-best friend. It's like a cult. And even when the judge asked, what type of church is this? Like, what type of church is this? She goes, it's not a church. It's not a religion. It's an experience. Bitch, what? Don't drink the Kool-Aid. Fuck this hoe. I didn't post her husband because I don't know if he had involvement. But we gonna leave Bishop out of this for a minute. So anyway, back to me because, I could have. Anyway, so we go to trial. And when I tell you, my lawyer, he did his work. He did his work to make sure that I got justice for what happened to me. So let's talk about trial. Y'all are gonna die when you hear this. So first of all, my ex-best friend testified against me. My baby daddy testified against me. It was against him, whatever. Like, we were fighting against each other. He also testified. His mother and the pastor. Those four. Oh, and the sister-in-law. They testified against me. I had to sit in court and watch these women lie. They lied. And I'm looking at them, but the one person I was really staring at hard was my ex-best friend, because I'm like, wow. You know what she told the judge? We were never friends like that. I only know her. I only were friends with her in middle school. She claimed that she lied and said that my grandmother called her and said that she was concerned about the abuse and everything. No proof to show that, by the way. Then she said, we were never friends like that. And, the judge saw right through that. The judge was like, so how were you never friends, but the grandma was going to called you to confide in you about her private business? Why would she call you? If you weren't her best friend, why would she call you? There's 3 million other people in this girl's life, and you haven't talked to her since middle school. You weren't friends with her like that. Why would the grandma call you? Dummy bitch. They just sat and lied. The sister-in-law lied. The sister-in-law got pressed so hard she cried on the stand, and I just giggled. Because fuck you, you stupid bitch. Lying bitch. Then I got on the stand and I told my side. And, it's about to get heavy. So I realized in my last videos when I was describing what the pastor did with my son, that it was my 6-year-old, but he's 6 now, turning 7. This happened when my son was 4. He had just freshly turned 4, so he was just a 3-year-old. This happened literally the month he turned 4 years old, a baby, literally fresh out of being a toddler. So imagine a 4-year-old sitting down, having to be asked very explicit things or things that may be confusing because he's never heard of it or experienced it, and then being pressured to say something by people he trusts, even though it's horrible things about his mother. And if anybody says that's not a traumatizing thing or not a damaging thing, you are sadly mistaken. You should never, ever coerce a child into saying something, especially if he's saying no. If you have to pressure somebody into saying an answer, it's not the truth. And then if you have to continually ask the same question over and over again, and there's an answer given, that's the answer you have to take. You can't, because you're not getting the answer you like, you can't keep asking somebody the same question over and over again, expecting a different answer. That's actually psychotic. So I had the same lawyer from the beginning of the case to the end of the case. I've never changed lawyers. I got one lawyer and I stayed loyal, and this lawyer carried, me through this case. My son's father, on the other hand, went through 3 or 4 lawyers. What I believe he was doing was retaining them, and because he didn't have any money, I think he was just retaining them, getting them, and then not paying them, and then lawyer shopping. He just kept going to the next lawyer, to the next lawyer, to the next lawyer, because I don't understand how you change 3 or 4 times a lawyer within a year of the case. He was already going through mad different lawyers. So during trial, let's start with the sister-in-law. The sister-in-law testified against me. Once again, another best friend of mine who turned her back on me and went to join this cult, whatever the fuck they had going on. When she was speaking, right, she was behaving as if she cared so much about, my son, and she was so concerned. And she claimed to the court that my son told her this a year prior. So she says that my son had told her that these things were happening to him, came to her and said this in confidence, between them, and a long time ago. So the judge is well, I'm confused, because if he told you that, right, a year ago or however long you said ago, why are you just saying something now? If you're so concerned about this child and they are telling you they're being abused and that's why you guys are going so hard, why tell him now? So, every lie she told, the judge was, really just kept obviously showing that what she was saying was making no sense. But when my lawyer cross-examined her or whatever, when he questioned her, she ended up breaking down crying. And I truly believe that, I would like to believe that she realized how fucked up it was, and I think she broke down because she realized how far it went, and I think she did not want to participate in how far it went, and realized it was a mistake, but realized how late it was to even turn around at this point. I think my lawyer just kept really eating her up in every single lie that was told, and I think she just couldn't handle it. So she started crying. Once again, like I said, my ex-best friend, she was lying on the stand saying that we weren't close and everything, and it's bullshit. Like, you know, I had proof that we were speaking about my gender reveal like the same day she told me that, you know, she was being with my baby daddy all of a sudden. So to say that we weren't close but you're helping me plan my gender reveal is insane. My baby daddy's mother testified, and that shit made me so angry because she definitely lied for him. And during our relationship, I had found really disturbing things on his phone. I found it, and it was his. And I don't think I'm ready to go into that, because that's heavy shit, and I'm definitely getting, I don't want to go into that yet, but just know that I found very, very horrible things on that man's phone. There's a reason why I'm not with my baby daddy, and my friends know it, my family knows it. So when people say like, oh, you're hurt, no, there's a reason I'm not with him, in that is a vile, disgusting human being. I found something fucked up on his phone. This is when we were together, like when I was pregnant with my son, with my first son. And I showed his mom. His mom was fully aware, right? But when I brought that thing up in court, the mom was like, that never happened. And it's so crazy to me because we had a whole house meeting about it. My baby daddy flipped out when he was caught. Now all of a sudden it never happened. Like, I understand that's your son, but ma'am, like, at some point, like, when are you gonna hold your kids accountable for shit? But I expected her to lie for him, but like, I'm the type, like, I'm willing to take a polygraph at this point. Like, I'm not playing. I don't be lying. I don't be lying. Like, I know what the fuck I'm saying. I would never make an ass out of myself if I didn't know what the fuck I was talking about. I digress though. Mama lied. We knew that was gonna happen. That's your mama. The pastor goes up. So the one thing that the judge, so she was trying to say, like, you know, she was stuttering, and she was just, she made herself, luckily, you know, what I was seeing when I used to watch her preach, when I used to, you know, listen to her testament. Let me tell you something. When this lady would preach, I knew she was full of shit from day one. When I was pregnant with my son, when I was actually dating my baby father, and we got engaged, we went to premarital counseling. I had caught him cheating. I had caught him with over like 1,000 videos and pictures of naked girls masturbating that sent it to him through Kik. He was cheating on me. He was sending private part pictures to them, jerking off videos. While I was pregnant. He was also talking to young girls in the age range of 14 to 17. We were in our 20s. So, and don't come for me and say like, oh, didn't you try to reconcile with him? I'm fucked up, obviously. Like, well, it was. I went through therapy. I'm in such a better place now. But anything before, like, just don't even hold it to me, because I was just fucked up. But when we were going to premarital counseling, and we were going to that church, because I felt obligated to go to the church, obviously, I knew something was off with this lady. We would go to our premarital counseling meetings, and you know what she would tell me? I would tell her, because we would confide in her about our problems, and I would tell her what I found on his phone. And you know what she said? Well, what are you doing to push him to cheat? What are you doing to push him to do these things? That's when I knew that bitch was crazy. And you know what? We would get out of counseling and we would argue in the car, because I'd be like, bro, this is not fair. Like, she wants to fuck you. That's what it gave. Because she would talk about my baby daddy and his twin brother like, these are the golden children. The golden children? You talking about the man who used to pee in bottles because he was too lazy to go downstairs, so he would pee in water bottles and collect them upstairs? Anyway, that's embarrassing for me, but fuck it. Because I'm just, please. I obviously didn't love myself. So, she would tell me it was my fault. It was my fault why my baby daddy cheated on me, even though I did nothing to him. I was pregnant with his child, loving him, going to church, even though I felt uncomfortable at the church. When she would preach, she would talk about herself. That's when I knew there was something off with that church. That lady would talk about herself more than she would talk about God. She would tell us how before she met Bishop, she had 1 million men going after her. She dated a bunch of men. men were just throwing themselves at her, and she had all these options, and then she settled for Bishop because he was a regular dude. You know, he didn't have much. He was just a bus driver. Girl, who the fuck are you? Like, if I'm not mistaken, she grew up like poor in New York. Like, girl, get on to God. Why are you talking about your dating life? So the pastor gets on the stand. She's like just doing what she does, being weird. And the judge is just like kind of looking at her like she's crazy because she's making herself look crazy, like I said. And the judge asked her, like, I'm just confused because, like, are you licensed to like interview children? Like, are you licensed by the Department of Child Services? Are you like a certified like interview? Like, is there some type of credentials that like made you feel like you were qualified to properly interview a child about child abuse? And even when he was interviewing the sister-in-law, the girlfriend, about the saying yet, like the whoever was in the background forcing my child to say yes, like he said, I heard it. You can't deny it. Like, you hear it. Say yes, say yes. And my son's looking, literally the video, like he's sitting here, the pastor's here, and they're all probably behind where like the phone is set up, and he's like this, because you can hear like voices in the background as she's asking questions, and he's like, and then they kept jiggling keys for him to look up because he was playing with a toy while she was, mind you, that's what makes this even more sad, is that like in the video you see my son you know, playing with a toy, like innocently not knowing what's happening at the moment, and like they're jiggling keys to make him look up. Like, leave him alone. Like, y'all are so weird. But basically the judge was just like, you know, I heard it. Like, you can clearly hear like the whisper in the background. I don't know if you didn't think you can hear it, but you can hear it. So I want to know why were you telling him to say yes? He asked the sister-in-law. The sister-in-law is just like, oh, I was only telling him to say yes because he already said this happened. I just wanted him to confirm what he told us. That's not how it works, babe. Because if that's what he said, and he's around all of you, the people he told, and he's not around anybody else but the people he apparently trusts and told and confided in, why would he not confirm what you're saying? Why would he then continue to say no in the video? Why would he deny what you guys are saying? Why would he say that? If that's what he said, you wouldn't have to force him to say that. And even when he's looking up and he's like, he just looks confused. Like, he just looks like, so anyway, back to the pastor. You know, the judge is just asking her, like, but he clearly said no, you know, like, and the pastor just kept going on a rant like she always does with her credentials. She apparently has a PhD. She's a writer, an author. She runs courses about how to better your life and better yourself as a person. I've taken one of them damn courses from her. She was a crock of shit. But the best part was the judge, you know, towards the end of her like little testify, whatever, the judge was like, I'm just curious, like, what religion is this exactly? Because what kind of church is this? And I don't think any judge would specifically ask that unless it actually is completely unclear what the fuck this is. So they apparently were advertised themselves as like Christians, but when he asked her, what religion is this? What church is this? She goes, it's not a church. It's not a religion. It's an experience. The judge, you ever heard side eye? Like, the judge was just like, okay, crazy. You know, the judge can't say these things, but with his responses and his facial expressions and just the like, you could just, he was obviously like, whoa. So after all the testifying, after, you know, everything that was done, after the whole trial, I testified, and then it was time for my baby daddy to testify after I did. So when I testified, I brought up also that one disturbing day of the things that I found in his phone. We were together, and how he has a very long history of being a monster, a very long history of lying, a very long history of being sneaky. So when I brought up this thing, I think he panicked. Like, I looked at his face and I said, yeah, motherfucker, like, yeah, I'm telling them what the fuck I found on your phone. When he went up on the stand, oh, mind you, when I went up on the stand, I was questioned by his lawyer, my lawyer, you know, the whole cross-examination. My story was straight because that's the only story there is. I answered everything clearly. I had clear answers for everything, because you don't have to practice the truth. You don't have to think, oh, I don't recall. Oh, let me think. It just, what it is. So I think the judge was very happy that I was able to just stick to what it was, be clear. I wasn't dicking around. I wasn't, let me, but nothing. The fuck? I told it what it was, and that was it. By that time, I was also broken up and not with, you know, the boyfriend that I was with at the time that was going on, my second baby father. I wasn't with him anymore. I was single. Like, I was ready to just do me and deal with this with me. When my baby father got on the stand, the judge asked him about what I said, about what I found on his phone. Mind you, that's a serious accusation, what I found on his phone, what I said. That wasn't no light shit. It wasn't no, oh, did you, you know, steal that bag of shit? No, it was some shit on that phone. And when, mind you, so like if somebody said you committed a very serious and fucked up crime, right, and you did not, especially in court, you're gonna be like, no, that never happened. When the judge asked him, what did this happen? He said, I can't recall. I don't know. So you're not even gonna like dead ass deny like being caught up in some shit like that? I was shocked that he didn't even deny it. Like, he just said, I don't recall. What do you mean you don't recall? I would be like, no, I never would do something like that. Oh my God, no, that's disgusting. I don't know, I don't recall. You better fake like you recall. Like, damn, like, you are dumb. So that also kind of leaned towards like what I was saying, obviously was confirmed it was true, because how could you say you don't recall to an accusation so serious if you didn't do that? But that's neither here nor there. So once the trial was over, which it was 5 or 6 hours we were in the courtroom for that day, the judge said he's not going to give his verdict that day. He's going to schedule a Zoom to give his verdict on a later date, because this is a lot. We were there for 5-6 hours. It was a lot of information, a lot of evidence. He wants to fully give his verdict another day. So we're like, all right, fuck it. So I leave, we go home. I was very confident in the way that the trial went. I think that the judge saw through everybody's bullshit. I think the judge saw the things for what it is. I didn't care about being on my side. I just wanted the truth and the justice to be served. I don't give a fuck. So the judge did end up, we did get a Zoom date. He read his verdict. His verdict was, I gotta get the court orders so I can read them to you guys of each time we went to court at like when this happened, so I can specifically tell you guys like each thing that was ordered. But you know what, I'm gonna do that in the next part, but I'll just tell you really quickly. So the verdict was that everybody who testified lied, including the father, that the sister-in-law is ordered to not allowed to be around my son, that the girlfriend is ordered to not be allowed to be around my son. I was also ordered time back. So all the time that I missed with my son, the 3 months, I was ordered that back consecutively. So he then was not allowed to see our son for 3 months straight, while I got to get all that time back and spend time with my baby. And also he was starting school. So that's why I was also very stressed about getting my son back, because this happened like May, June, July, you know, August, and then September starts school. So I was also stressing like, damn, I have him enrolled for, you know, like he's starting school. This is not, I need this done before school starts. So I was able to experience, you know, bringing him to his first day of school with the baby. And, you know, it was beautiful. It was God couldn't, you want to talk about God? Like, you know, God comes through for the people that truly move correctly. I'll tell you that. And you know, what's funny? After that verdict was read, and it was that the sister-in-law was not allowed around my son, after that hearing, she called me. And she was like, oh, you know, I'm just so hurt that, he did tell me this. Like, he did tell me this. I said, bitch, I don't want to hear shit. She was like, oh, and you going to social media this whole time, what do you think? These people are your fans? Like, what did that do for you? What did that... bitch, hop off my phone. I don't give a fuck. Like, what? Like, do you hear yourself? You are like really sick in the head. The sister-in-law is sick in the head. This is the moment you've all been waiting for. This is the video of the pastor, the sister-in-law, the ex-best friend, new girlfriend, coercing my son to say he's being abused. This is the video that helped me win my case with flying colors and helped me win possibly every court case after that with them. This was very painful to watch. It was very hard to watch, knowing and hearing and seeing how he was being coached and coerced and forced to sit and answer the same question over and over again because his answer wasn't good enough. It was painful to watch him have to answer the same question over and over again and have to constantly look up and be snapped at and keys jingled and coughing and to get his attention so he can say what they're coaching him to say. Essentially, they wanted to use this video to prove that my second baby father, the man that I was with at the time, was abusing him. And I can wholeheartedly say that wasn't happening, and it was proved to not be happening. I had nanny cams in my house. We already went through a whole investigation. My son was interviewed by DCPP. I really don't have to prove all this. It was already proven. I'm just explaining to you guys. I'm telling the story. My son was interviewed by DCPP. He did not say he was being abused or touched. Anything that they're coercing him to say in this video was never said elsewhere. Also, you're going to see him looking up, looking around every time he has to answer something. You're going to hear them whispering. But like I said, I'm going to pinpoint the moment that they say yes, make him say yes. You're going to also notice the pastor getting kind of like aggressive and aggravated at the fact that he's not answering how she wants him to. And also they're trying their hardest to coach him while this is happening. So that's why it keeps going back and forth. He's first answering no, but then they're coaching him to say yes, but then he's saying no. It's very confusing for a 3-year-old. Here we go.
Yeah. So, guess what?
Yeah.
Oh, when you home, when you take a shower, what do you do? Who'll be with you in the shower?
Dada.
Who? No, when you at mommy's house.
Fun.
Friend be with you in the shower?
Yeah.
What does he do in the shower?
Huh? Huh?
What does he do in the shower?
He washes up.
He wash you up?
No, he wash him up.
He wash him up. Okay, and what do you be doing?
I was just playing.
So you just play in the shower?
No, I was playing in my room.
Oh, but do you be in the bathtub together?
Huh?
Do you be in the bathtub together?
No, Finn was not in the bathtub with me. I was in the bathtub myself.
Oh, so you don't be in a bathtub with friend?
I only go by myself.
Oh, you only be in the shower by yourself?
Yeah, because they always leave me and they go on the couch.
Oh, they go on the couch. So when you take a shower, who be in the shower with you?
Friend.
So friend be in the shower with you? So you'll be in the tub together? Really? Say yes or no.
Yes.
Okay. Why do you be in the shower together? Why do you be in the shower together?
Because friend always give me snacks and toys.
So you be in the shower with friend because he give you snacks and toys? Oh.
And I also give mommy some flowers.
And you gave mommy some flowers? Oh, friend brought mommy some flowers.
Yeah, me too.
You too? Oh, that's nice. So when you get out the tub, when you be in the tub, okay, so you be there by yourself or you in there with friend?
I go in there with friend.
Oh, so you take a shower together. Say yes or no.
Yes.
Oh, okay. God bless you.
Thank you.
Oh, okay. So who washes you up?
Friend.
Friend washes you up in the tub, in the shower?
Yeah, friend does too, and mommy does too.
Oh, boy. You'll be in the shower all together? Huh? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Well, thank you. I was wondering, because I want to make sure you're okay.
Okay.
Okay, you be okay when you're in the shower?
Yeah.
Okay.
Look.
Okay, thank you. That's nice. Okay. So I just want to make sure that, that you be in the shower, who be in the shower with you. So it'd be only you and friend, right?
And mommy.
And mommy? Oh, but who washes your body? That's friend?
Mommy and friend.
Mommy and friend wash your body? But do you ever be in the shower by yourself with friend, without mommy?
Yeah, I go with mommy and friend too.
Okay, but do you ever be by yourself with friend?
No.
So do you be in the shower with friend by yourself? It's just only you and friend, without mommy?
No, mommy comes in the shower with me too.
Oh, so it'd be you, mommy, and friend. Oh. Okay. Well, thank you. I just want to know. I want to make sure you okay, right?
So now that you've all seen the video, do you see what I mean? Like, constant coaching. Remember, this is a 3-year-old. The 3-year-old, he already gave the answer. You can't ask a child the same answer. Like, you're coercing him by you telling him what to say, by him not being able to just answer it and move on from the question, by him having to look around and having the people around him say, friend, say this, say that. Like, so uncomfortable, so weird. And you can tell that even though he's only 3, he knew something was weird. You could tell he's visibly uncomfortable. That's why he's nervously playing with the toy, which is what the analyst said. He's nervously playing because you're asking me questions like this. You're people I trust. My mommy is people I trust. You know what I'm saying? This was disgusting, disturbing, very, very distasteful, unprofessional for a woman who's not even trained or licensed to interview children about child abuse to sit there and ask a 3-year-old, the same question over and over and over and over again. He answered. What other answers do you want? You want the answer you want. And no matter how hard they try to coerce him, at the end of the day, it's still a no. So I'm going to leave that there for today. There's still more to talk about, obviously, the rest of the story, but that was a lot just to even rewatch. It was a lot to watch my son be uncomfortable and nervous. It was a lot to have an adult, like, not believe him and take his answer. It was a lot to hear the people in the background saying, make him say yes. Did they not watch over the video before they sent it? But like I said, this is the video that won me my case. Not saying that, like, the unfounded, like, conclusion to the investigation didn't, or, like, everything else I had to prove. It was just that this video was really it. So last we left off, you guys seen the pastor video. It speaks for itself. I'm not going to go in depth anymore about it. It is what it is. So after all that, like I said, I was able to get all my time back with my son, 3 months consecutive, and then we resumed back to our regular visitation schedule, which was Wednesdays and every other weekend. I want you guys to understand that in the state of New Jersey, no matter what the other parent does, New Jersey emphasizes and pushes for a whole family dynamic, meaning both parents being able to be involved. They really don't like to take the child away from the other parent, even if they did something wrong. Really, it has to be something like sexual abuse on him. Like, they have to be convicted of something, and even then they still get like supervised visitation. New Jersey just wants, as long as the child has a relationship with the parent and they love they show a positive relationship with the parent, whatever the case may be, they want the child to still have visitation. So although he did get in trouble, like, he didn't get convicted. Like, they didn't like send him to jail for this. They didn't charge him with anything. They fined him. They punished him by not letting him have visitation for a while. You get what I'm saying? They didn't punish him to the fullest extent of the law. So with that being said, was that frustrating? Yes, but also you guys have to understand, I was in court for years straight dealing with this. At some point, I needed to take a step back from court and find some fucking peace. Like, although I'm gonna fight for my son always, I need to like not be in court for a few months and relax, because it's a lot to be fighting custody and this and that. Like, going to court regularly like that and fighting like that is not good for your mental health. And I also have another child to raise and worry about that whole situation, which that's a whole other story time that is even worse than this one. Jesus, please carry me through these story times because I'm triggered. So basically, after all that happened, we resumed. The problem is that I didn't know where my son was sleeping. My baby father was basically homeless and jumping from the baby mama's house to his sister-in-law's, his brother's house, like, and sleeping on couches. And I found out that my son was literally sleeping on a couch or a mattress on the floor, and I'm not okay with that. So, you know, when I filed a motion, I want to know where he's sleeping, where are you living? I need an address. You're not telling me where you live. You're also lying about where my son's sleeping, and I just don't feel okay with it because I don't trust anybody over there. So when the hearing came for that, which I believe was in March of 2024, I get to court, he doesn't show up, so it defaulted in my favor, and he lost his visitation rights, and he cannot get them back until he files a motion and gets back in court and proves he has suitable living arrangements, an address, and amongst other things. So he had to prove himself before he got his visitation back. So months went by and we didn't get a court date till August. So all those months went by where it was just me and my little family, my boyfriend and my kids, and he didn't go to his dad's because he couldn't, because obviously his visitation was suspended. Now, he barely called, to be honest. He could have called. Like, it wasn't like he couldn't call his son. He could have called, and he really didn't at all. So that spoke volume to, like, did you ever really want and care about him? Or did you just do it to get back at me? Like, did you just pretend like you gave so much, like, to get back at me? So we get the court date for August, and the problem was that the court date was on a Monday. Tell me why Friday before that Monday, mind you, he had his visitation suspended. He had to answer to that. CPS gets called on me Friday. I'm like, no, the fuck he didn't. I was like immediately triggered. I was ready. I was on go. Like, I was like, you know what? Who want it? Who need it? So I'm listening to the allegations and I'm like, are y'all serious? And mind you, these were the same workers that I had last time, like, just coincidentally. And they're like, listen, we know it's a crock of shit, basically. Like, we have to investigate, but it's going to be quick this time. And, you know, I'm like, listen, I don't want my son interviewed about stuff that he, once again, has no business knowing about and would never have known about it if I wasn't falsely getting CPS calls against me. So they're like, we're going to try to make it as quick as possible. This is something that we have to do in the state of New Jersey. We have to investigate. So I'm like, whatever. So I'm thinking and I'm like, wait a minute. Some of the allegations, like, like, where does that come from? Like, where do you make that up? And I'm trying to think and I'm like, this is bullshit. So I also tell the CPS worker, I'm like, you know, we have court Monday. This is no coincidence. We just finished going through all this, and now all of a sudden CPS is getting called again. Like, this is bullshit. So you know what I did? I made sure I printed out every ounce of evidence for her to debunk every allegation. In the allegation, it said that I went to Texas with my kids and I was masturbating on my car. On Instagram. What? First of all, my kids didn't come with me to Texas. I went on a vacation to Texas. And second, I was standing on top of a Dodge Charger, but that wasn't in Texas. I was out with my friends and we were twerking on a Dodge Charger. I know that sounds ratchet, but I wasn't masturbating or naked. I wasn't with my kids, and that wasn't in Texas. So that's how I know somebody just, I don't know what the fuck. Then the allegations were very similar to the last allegations too. That was what rung the bells for me. Then it was like, it was the bathing thing. It was a lot of shit. It was a lot of shit that didn't make no type of sense. Come to find out, that my baby father that I'm going, the one that I'm going to, that's part of this whole story time, with the ex best friend and everything, he reached out to my second baby father, the same man he claimed was part of the abuse and everything with the first case. So you're telling me you was headstrong that I was abusing your son and my man at the time was abusing your son, but now that me and him are not together, now that you have, now you're going to try and use him against me? Like, you're sick. So then my second baby father, even though we weren't getting along, he did send me the screenshots, and he did say he was kind of confused as to why he was asking certain questions, but he's like, I really didn't have answers for him. And I was just like, what? Like, oh my God, like, it couldn't have been any more coincidental. Like, do you really want to do this again? Like, this is not going to go how you want it. So Monday comes, and I can't wait to get in court. I can't wait to tell this judge that once again CPS was called and everything. So we do the hearing. He gives him this address that he lives at, which is fake. He lives at his girlfriend's house. He just doesn't want to say it. Cool. So I tell the judge, I'm like, do you know that he called CPS again? And he's like, how do you know that? I said, well, I have circumstantial evidence. I obviously can't see the database of the phone call, but I'm sure that CPS can, and this should be illegal. This is harassment at this point. And the judge agreed. The judge agreed that if he called again and it's unfounded again, it's harassment, and you should be allowed to pursue that with DCPP to find out who called, to solidify that he called. And the judge put in the order that if it's found that the dad called again, his parental rights will be terminated. So I had the full backing of the court that the evidence did look like it led to him. Let's do an investigation. Let's find out. And then if it's unfounded again and you're the one who called, and he said you or anyone around you called, your parental rights will be terminated. I say, you know what? Perfect. I'll be handling that. So boom, I waited till CPS. Obviously, it was unfounded, never a shadow of doubt. And I got the letter, and then I went to court. I filed a motion. I said, I want to investigate who called. I have this court document from a judge that says at this point, I'm being harassed, and that if this call was unfounded, that I have the right to pursue for us to launch an investigation to find out who called, and he will lose his parental rights. The court was like, whoa, like, that's different. They told me that I had to get in touch with a DCPP liaison to jumpstart this whole thing. My. So where we left off, they were telling me that if it's unfounded, if DCPP is unfounded again, this is harassment, and you need to talk to a DCPP liaison so we can launch an investigation, and you can pursue this and find out if it's him, which it is. Find out that, like, solidify on record that it is him, and then he will lose his parental rights. So since that court hearing, obviously he still got to exercise his visitation, which I was pissed about. I cried about it in court. I told the judge, you see everything that happened. You're even co-signing that, like, what has happened is fucked up, and that the judge, like, for the judge to award me counsel fees is you must have did something really wrong. So why are we trusting him to go over there? Like, how do I know that they won't do this again? So the judge was like, no, I totally understand you, but, like, as far as anything, like, he provided an address, and, like, we have to let him resume visitation. And I'm like, it makes no sense, but I'm not going to argue with the judge because, like, I'm not going to get nowhere with that. So I had to just eat that. So after that, like, my son would go there, on every other weekend, and would be at her house, even though he claims to live somewhere else. He lies, but that's where my son has been every other weekend and on Wednesdays. He told me that my ex-best friend, the stepmom, has been giving him dirty looks and making him feel uncomfortable. So I was like, oh, really? I said, are you sure? Are you sure that you're not just misinterpreting? Like, are you sure? Because, baby, you know your mama, and I'm gonna say something. So before I go start some shit and say something, I need you to, like, be honest with me. And he was like, no, I know what a dirty look is. She gives me dirty looks. So I said, green light, let's go. So I hit up my baby father. I'm telling him this, and he's just like, oh no, she loves him. Like, that's her own. First of all, let's keep it a real, friends. if a bitch don't like you, and if she has hate for you and she does grimy shit to you, what do you think she feels about your child? You think she loves my child? No, she doesn't. She definitely does not see my child as her own. She definitely wants my child out the picture. She definitely, every time, he looks just like me. Every time she sees him, she definitely sees me. And if you hate the mother, there's no way you could be trusted around the child. And I've always believed that. Like, I don't want my kids around people that hate me. Like, that's my baby. If you hate me, you can't love my kid. So my father was like, no, that never happened. He's just making that up. I say he's making that up. So let's let him out the car and say it. Oh, no. Why? I have him in the car. He'll tell you. He told me that he didn't want to tell his dad because he didn't feel comfortable telling his dad because his dad's not going to do anything about it. So that gives that his dad definitely prioritizes that over there over him. And on top of that, his dad's not involved in anything over here. Like, he's not involved in sports. He's not involved in nothing, but he coaches her kids' sports stuff. He's involved in their school. And it's just like mad weird because it's like, what about your own kid? But that's okay because he's got enough support. It's just don't play like your dad of the year. So I pressed the issue and he didn't want to hear it from him. That's the part that's so crazy to me. He did not want to hear it from him. And I'm like, well, why? Because you're saying he's lying. So hear it from your son himself. He'll tell you. I have his back. You feel me? He'll tell you and you can't get mad because he's telling you the truth. So that moment came and went. I couldn't do nothing about it. So after I had asked my baby, I'm like, oh, does she give you, he's like, oh no, but she doesn't do it anymore. And she said, she talked to me and she said, oh, I'm not giving you dirty looks. It's just that all you kids aren't listening. I'm like, okay, like there's nothing I can do about it right now. So leading up to current times, last week, March 11th, we went, before that I had filed for full sole legal custody. I got tired of this shit. I'm like, let me just go for it because at this point I'm tired. I don't want to deal with this man or his family no more. I don't want him being involved as much as I'm sorry, but like this, he is not a good parent. He is not worth, his child support ain't worth it. His involvement ain't worth it. I would much rather have him at a distance. And it's not even just about me. It's about my child. Like, I just feel like him being over there is not, I don't feel comfortable with them. I don't have a choice to in the current sense, but I want to change that. So when we went to our first hearing on March 11th to open up the statement and why I'm filing and stuff, he was like, oh, this is left field. Like I was so shocked and taken back and blindsided that she filed for full legal custody. Hello? So she was like, okay, this is how you feel. This is what you're going for. So we're going to have a trial. Bring all your evidence, put it into the court system because there's like an online thing you could put all your evidence into. And she's like, we'll revisit this today. This is where I'm at, right? But obviously, like the events that have transpired this past weekend, like I know you guys can probably tell I'm mentally drained. Like I need a minute. Like I have a lot of trauma from like, you know, physical violence, and even though like I feel very good about, you know, how the outcome was as far as like people like supporting me, it still doesn't take away the trauma that like somebody trying to kill you causes. I am a domestic violence survivor, and I was somebody did try to unalive me at one point in my life. And so when I saw somebody that I used to be friends with running at me with a knife, no matter what, that right there was very traumatic for me. And I feel like, what are the words? I feel like I just feel taken back. Like you have so much envy in your heart that you were willing to end my life. Like you didn't care about your own, you didn't care about your kid, you didn't think about nothing. My existence disturbed you so much that you were willing to risk your entire life to end mine. That type of hate towards that's very eye-opening to think about. How like everything she tried to make me feel guilty for coming to like the internet and speaking on my experience, but like that proved everything I said. And now I stand even more 10 toes down that those bitches were never my friend, but especially her. Especially her. She was never my friend. If you're willing to kill me, you were never my friend.